welcome back to another lesson. In the previous lesson, we talked about the for each method of working with map in JavaScript. And I quickly want to bring up the codes for a quick refresher. Now, I know that in that lesson, the callback function might still be looking like a magic, or it might still be confusing. If you are still in that state right now, I think you can just check online to search for callback function, how it works, and then you'll be able to grasp a better idea of how it works, because I might not be able to explain everything in details in the lesson. But the callback function is the main thing, the real deal in these expressions that gave us the output that we can see right there on the screen. So it's very important to understand how expressions work and how expressions are called to generate output, especially in your program. Understanding your program is very, very important, not just the result or the output that it gives at the end of the day. So that is that about the for each method. And moving away from that, we are going into the map dot entries method, which we already described here as the entries method returns an iterator object with the key values in a map. Now, the for each method invokes a callback for each key value pair in a map, and with the combination of keys and value, we were able to get out the output, as you can see from the previous lesson on the screen. We return an iterator object with the key values in a map. And for us to better understand this, let's take a look at an example of what exactly the map entry method, does it do exactly when working with map in Java, with map objects in JavaScript. So let me change this to entries method. So the entries not entire method return an iterator object returns an iterator object with the key values in a map. With the key value in a map. So let's dive into it. Now, I already have this as an example that we use for each method. So I'm going to make use of this fruit map that you can see right here on my screen. I'm just going to apply the entry method to it. And for the entries method, I'm going to be making use of the for of loop, because I'm going to be iterating over this element as well. So I will set a default string to empty, which will house the result from my iteration. And then I can then pass in the for loop, the for of loop of fruit dot entries, which is the method. And then I can say, what do I want? I want text plus equals, what do I want? X, which is the output that I expect. And I want a break. I want the result to be on each line. So I make it this way. And now I can pass in the output documents dot get elements by IT. Semicolon. Inner HTML equals to text. All things being equal, I think we should get an output on the screen. And you can see that each is separated with a comma. Yes, apples 200, oranges 200, pineapple 20, and watermelon 100. And if I want a space in between them, so this is coming from what you can see here. Inside this is where the comma is coming from. So if I want space, I can still add space. Yeah, the space can be added after this place, I think. So this is not really working for it actually, but what you're trying to achieve, if you achieve it, and that is the fact that the entries method can be the entries method return an iterator object with the key values in the map. So when you use the entries method, so it will return an iterator object, and this is what is meant by that, with the key values in the map. So this is the key. This apple that you are seeing here is the key, and this is the value. This is the key, this is the values, and so on and so forth. So the map entries method returns an iterator object with the key values in a map. You can see what it's returning is a combination of key and value. So this is how the map entries method works in JavaScript. So this time around, we are not using a callback function, unlike the for each method. You can see that the only thing we are employing here is the for of loop, which is very straightforward. This x can be anything, so you can use any value here, and at the end of the day, this will still fetch you your result. So it does not matter what you use in space of x, but shows that x is very common is the reason why you may be seeing me using it most of the time. So that is how the map entries method, that is how it just works in JavaScript. So looking at this code now, you can see that, let's assume that we have hundreds or let's say thousands of the element of our map method. With the for of the for of, you can see that to iterate over them will not be a problem, because it will just keep picking each of the element, check it for the key, for its corresponding key and value, and then output the result to us massively. But in situation whereby the value is not present, let's see what will happen. If we take value out from one of the elements, can you see? So it will give you the key, but then nothing will be for the value. So the value will not have anything. It will not show anything because of the fact that the value is not being passed as the element that is passed into the map object itself. So this is how the map entries work in JavaScript. Let me return this back, and you can see that it will continue to work. Thank you, and